Okay, I hope I'm audible to all the students who are attending this lecture. In the last lecture, we were doing strategic games where I had done the basic definition of a strategic game, the components of a strategic game. We had done an example of a very famous strategic game called the Prisoner's Dilemma game, and I had also talked about the concept of dominant strategy. Okay, and we had found out the dominant strategy of the Prisoner's Dilemma game, which was for both the suspects 1 and 2 to think. Okay, so now let us look at a very important concept, the most important concept actually in strategic games, called as the theory of Nash equilibrium. Theory of Nash equilibrium. So let's understand what is Nash equilibrium. So a Nash equilibrium is an action profile. A Nash equilibrium is an action profile A star with the property that no player I can do better by choosing an action different from AI star, by choosing an action different from AI star, given that every other player J adheres to AJ star. Okay, so a Nash equilibrium is an action profile A star with the property that no player I can do better by choosing an action different from AI star, given all the other players J are playing AJ star. That simply means once you have achieved the Nash equilibrium profile, you would not want to deviate from that, because that will give you the highest payoff or the highest satisfaction. Okay, so I can write it like this. In other words, A star is a Nash equilibrium if for every player I and every action AI of player I, A star is at least as good according to the player I's preferences as the action profile AI, A minus I star, in which player I chooses AI while all other players J choose AJ star. So A star is a Nash equilibrium for every player I, and every action AI of player I. A star is at least as good according to player I's preferences as the action profile AI, AI minus star, in which player I chooses AI while all the other players J choose AJ star. So the whole definition, if I sum up the whole definition in one inequality, if I sum up the whole definition in one inequality, what does this mean? This simply means that A star is a Nash equilibrium profile. A star is a Nash equilibrium profile if utility which player I gets from AI star is greater than equal to utility which player I gets from some other action profile AI when all the other players are playing A minus I star. For every action AI of player I. So whatever paragraphs I had written, if I sum them up in one inequality, this is the inequality which you can see on your screen. So A star is a Nash equilibrium profile if for every player I, utility which that player gets from AI star is greater than or equal to the utility which that player gets from some other action profile AI, which is not the Nash equilibrium, when all the other players A minus I are playing their equilibrium A minus I star. It means when all other players are playing their Nash equilibrium profile, if I am the ith player, then for me, the utility I get from AI star will be more than the utility I get from AI, where AI is some random action profile other than the Nash equilibrium. So I hope all the students are clear with the definition of Nash equilibrium. Basically, Nash equilibrium is that action profile from which no player would want to deviate. No player would want to deviate from the Nash equilibrium profile. It is the best outcome in the strategic game. Okay, so let's find the Nash equilibrium of the prisoner's dilemma game. So finding the Nash equilibrium of the prisoner's dilemma game. Finding the Nash equilibrium of the prisoner's dilemma game. So let's find the Nash equilibrium. Recall what was the prisoner's dilemma game. Recall the game matrix. Recall the game matrix of the prisoner's dilemma game. What was the game matrix? The game matrix was like this. We had suspect 2, we had suspect 1, we had the strategies quiet and think for suspect 1, we had the strategies quiet and think for suspect 2. This was our matrix, and our payoffs, if all students remember, it was 2, 2, 0, 3, 3, 0, and 1, 1. Now, let's find the Nash equilibrium. So in finding the Nash equilibrium, we have to see in this case that every suspect's action is the best response to the other suspect's action. In order to find the Nash equilibrium, every suspect's action should be the best response or the best outcome to the other suspect's action. So let us look at it. if suspect 1 remains quiet, let's look at suspect 1. If suspect 1 remains quiet, what will suspect 2 do? Will the suspect 2 be quiet or will the suspect 2 think? If suspect 2 remains quiet, she gets a payoff of 2. If suspect 2 thinks, she gets a payoff of 3. 3 is more than 2. So what will suspect 2 do? Suspect 2 will think. So I put a dash here. When suspect 1 remains quiet, suspect 2 will think. Now let us see what suspect, if suspect 2 thinks, so I can write, if suspect 1 remains quiet, suspect 2 will think. Okay, that means this cannot be the Nash equilibrium. Quiet, quiet cannot be the Nash equilibrium. Because when suspect 1 remains quiet, suspect 2 will never be quiet. Suspect 2 will think. Let us see what happens if suspect 2 thinks. So if suspect 2 thinks, what will suspect 1 do? Will the suspect, if suspect 2 thinks, will the suspect 1 remain quiet or will the suspect 1 think? You can clearly see that when suspect 2 thinks, suspect 1 will also think because 1 is greater than 0. That means I'll put a dash here. That means this is also not the Nash equilibrium. You will get that action profile as a Nash equilibrium if you get a dash below both the components. Once we get a dash below both the components, that will be our Nash equilibrium. So we have said that 2, 2, we have said that quiet, quiet is also not the Nash equilibrium. Why? Because when suspect 1 remains quiet, suspect 2 will think. So quiet, quiet is not the Nash equilibrium. If suspect 2 thinks, suspect 1 will not remain quiet. Because when suspect 2 is thinking, suspect 1 will get a higher payoff from thinking only because 1 is more than 0. So that means when suspect 2 thinks, suspect 1 will also think. So quiet think is not the Nash equilibrium. Let us check if think quiet is a Nash equilibrium or not. So when suspect 1 thinks, what will suspect 2 do? Suspect 2 will. What will suspect 2 do? Suspect 2 will think. Because when suspect 1 thinks, suspect 2 gets a payoff of 1 from thinking and 0 from quiet. So 1 is more than 0, suspect 2 will think. That means this is not the Nash equilibrium. So what's the Nash equilibrium? The Nash equilibrium is think, think because we have achieved a dash below both the components or below both the payoffs. We have achieved the dash below both the payoffs. So I can say that if suspect 1 thinks, suspect 2 will again think. Therefore, the Nash equilibrium of this game, is for both the players to think. The Nash equilibrium of this game is for both the players to think. You can clearly see if suspect 1 thinks, then suspect 2 will also think, and if suspect 2 thinks, then suspect 1 will also think. That means the only Nash equilibrium of the prisoner's dilemma game is for both the players to think. No other action profile is a Nash equilibrium. Why? Because you go to any action profile, you will deviate. You want to check once again, we can check once again. So I am erasing the crosses and I am checking it once again. Let us check, is quiet, quiet a Nash equilibrium? Let's check that. If suspect 1 remains quiet, what will suspect 2 do? Suspect 2 will think because 3 is more than 2. So we will not land up here. This is not the Nash equilibrium. Is quiet comma think the Nash equilibrium? You can see no. Because when suspect 2 thinks, if suspect 2 thinks, suspect 1 will also think. Because this one is more than 0. That means this is also not the Nash equilibrium because one of the players would want to deviate. In this case, player 1. Is think comma quiet a Nash equilibrium? You can see no. Why? Because when suspect 1 thinks, suspect 2 will want to think because this one is more than 0. 1 is more than 0. So suspect 2 would want to think in response to suspect 1 thinking. That means 3 comma 0 is also not the Nash think comma quiet is also not the Nash equilibrium. Why? Because in this case suspect 2 would want to deviate. Only think comma think is the action profile where no player wants to deviate. That means at think comma think, when suspect 1 thinks, suspect 2 also thinks, and when suspect 2 thinks, suspect 1 also thinks. So at 1 comma 1, you see that both the suspects would not want to deviate. So my Nash equilibrium is 1 comma. Okay, another thing. Nash equilibrium is not 1 comma 1. Understand this, I am writing it as a note on the top. Nash equilibrium is not 1 comma 1. Nash equilibrium is think comma think, where the payoff is 1 comma 1. All students, please understand, when you write in your exam the Nash equilibrium, it is the action profile, it's not the payoff. 1 comma 1 is not the Nash equilibrium. The Nash equilibrium is think comma think. The payoff you are getting from that is 1 comma 1. So no student should make this mistake in your exams. Nash equilibrium is never the payoff. Nash equilibrium is always the action profile. Okay? The payoff from think comma think is 1 comma 1. So I hope all the students have understood. So what I can say is, whenever suspect 2 thinks, the best response of suspect 1 is to think, and whenever suspect 1 thinks, the best response is for suspect 2 also to think. So I can write it as a note. I can write it as a note so that all students are able to get more clarity. Whenever suspect 1 thinks, the best response of suspect 2 is also to think, and whenever suspect 2 thinks, the best response of suspect 1, the best response of suspect 1 is also to think. So hence I can say that my Nash equilibrium of the prisoner's dilemma game is for both the players to think. So I hope all the students are clear with the concept of Nash equilibrium. So let me talk more about the concept of best response function. So using the best response function, to define the Nash equilibrium. If I use the concept of best response function to define the Nash equilibrium, it is going to look like this. Okay, so first of all, let us understand what is a best response function. So, and then we look at the definition. Best response function. Now, I'll be using some mathematical rigor. So, let BI denote the best response. Let BI denote the best response of player I when the other player's actions are given by, when the other player's actions are given by A minus I. So BI denote the best response of player I when all the other players are playing the action A minus I. Therefore, best response of player I when all the other players are playing the action A minus I is nothing but AI lying in the set capital AI such that the utility which player I gets from AI when all other players are playing the action A minus I is greater than equal to utility which the player I gets from some other action AI dash when all other players are playing A minus I for all AI dash lying in the set capital AI. Now, first of all students should understand what is capital AI. Capital AI denotes the set of all possible actions of player I. Capital AI denotes the set of all possible actions of player I. Small ai is one particular element of capital AI. I repeat, small ai is one particular element of the set capital AI. So, the best response of player I when all other players are playing the action A minus I is the set of all AIs lying in the set capital AI such that the payoff or the utility of player I when she plays A minus I given all other players are playing A minus I is greater than equal to her payoff from some other action AI dash lying in capital AI. So capital AI include, it's a set of AI, AI dash, AI double dash and so on. So I say that the best response function of player I is the set of AI lying in the set capital I such that the payoff player I gets from AI when all other players are playing A minus I is greater than equal to the payoff player I gets from some other action AI dash lying in the set capital AI when all other players are playing A minus I. So this is a slightly rigorous definition. Some colleges do this definition, some colleges do not do this definition. But my job is to do all kinds of definitions with you so that in the exam you are prepared from all sort of angles. Okay? So I hope all students have understood the concept of best response function in terms of inequality. Okay? So this is my definition of best response function. Okay, now let's look at the definition of Nash equilibrium using best response function. So definition of Nash equilibrium. So the action profile A star is a Nash equilibrium of a strategic game with ordinal preferences if and only if every player's action is a best response. Every player's action is a best response to the other player's action. That is, I can say that AI star lies in BI A minus I star for every player I. So what I can say is, I can say that therefore AI star lies in BI A minus I star means what? What is BI? BI is the best response function, which we just discussed 2 minutes back. BI is the best response function. BI as a function of A minus I star. A minus I star means when all the other players except player I are playing their equilibrium profile. So basically I can say that AI star is equal to small bi as a function of A minus I star. Now guys, what is small bi? Just as capital I denotes a set, small I denotes an element of the set. Similarly, capital BI denotes the best response set. Sorry, capital BI denotes the best response set. Best response set will tell you what? A best response set for player I will give you all actions of player I in response to other players' actions. But what is small bi? Small bi is one element of capital BI. So students should not get confused. On the top, I am writing on the right hand side, capital AI, small ai, capital BI, small bi. Capital AI is the set of all possible actions of player I. Small ai is an element of capital AI. Similarly, capital BI is the set of best responses of player I in response to all other players' actions. Small bi is the element of capital BI. So I can say capital AI and capital BI are sets, whereas small ai and small bi are elements of the set. So I can say that if I define Nash equilibrium using the best response function, then AI star should be equal to BI as a function of A minus I star. That is this which I am fencing in the bottom. AI star, which is the equilibrium action of player I, should be the best response to all other players' equilibrium actions. That means when all the other players are playing the equilibrium profile, then player I should also play the equilibrium profile. Another way of saying it is, suppose there are only two players. Suppose there are only two players, 1 and 2. So I'm writing it on the top. Suppose there are only two players. Suppose there are only two players, 1 and 2, then A1 star, which is the equilibrium action of player 1, should be the best response of player 1 to A2 star, which is the equilibrium action of player 2, and A2 star, which is the equilibrium action of player 2, should be the best response of player 2 to equilibrium action of player 1. This is what I plan to say. So the definition at the bottom, I have generalized for two players. AI star is equal to BI as a function of A minus I star. So A1 star is B1 into A2 star. Sorry, A1 star is B1 as a function of A2 star, and A2 star is B2 as a function of A1 star. How will I read this? Equilibrium action of player 1 is the best response of player 1 in response to player 2's equilibrium action, and equilibrium action of player 2 is the best response of player 2 to equilibrium action of player 1. So I hope all the students have understood the definition of best response function. I'm quickly revising with you. Let capital BI denote the best response of player I when all the other players' actions are given by A minus I. This best response function is also a set. It's not an element, it's a set. So BI as a function of A minus I is the set of all AI lying in the capital AI set, such that the payoff of player I from AI, A minus I, is greater than equal to payoff of player I from some other action AI dash lying in capital AI, comma, A minus I. And the Nash equilibrium definition, which we have seen using the best response function, and action profile A star will be called the Nash equilibrium of a strategic game with ordinal preferences. Ordinal preferences means you can rank them, you can rank the payoffs. If and only if for every player's action, every player action is the best response to other player's action. Every player's action is the best response to the other player's action. That means player 1's action is the best response to player 2's action, and player 2's action is the best response to player 1's action, provided there are only two players. In general, I can say AI star is equal to BI as a function of A minus I star. So now let us do some practice questions on finding the Nash equilibrium. So practice questions on finding the dominant strategy and the Nash equilibrium. So let's look at these practice questions one by one. Let's look at the first question. Suppose there are two friends, 1 and 2, working on a joint project. Working on a joint project. Each of them can either work hard or goof off. They can either work hard or they can just chill out, goof off. Okay? The payoff matrix is given as follows. We have friend 2 here. We have friend 1 here. Our strategies are as follows: work hard, goof off. Both the players have this action profile. and the matrix is given to us as 2 comma 2, 0 comma 3, 3 comma 0 and 1 comma 1. The question asks us find the dominant strategy, find the dominant strategy and the Nash equilibrium of this game. So let's look on to the solution. How will I find the dominant strategy? Remember the concept of dominant strategy. A player's dominant strategy is that strategy which the player will follow irrespective of what the other player is doing. So let's find the dominant strategy of friend 1. So dominant strategy of friend 1. So let us see what friend 1 will do in response to friend 2. So if friend 2 works hard, what will friend 1 do? If friend 2 works hard, friend 1 will goof off because 3 is more than 2. Friend 1 will goof off. Now let us see what happens if friend 2 changes its action. So if friend 2 goofs off, what will friend 1 do? It will still goof off. Why? Because 1 is more than 0. So you can see that friend 1 will always goof off irrespective of what friend 2 is doing. If friend 2 works hard, then also friend 1 goofs off. If friend 2 goofs off, then also friend 1 goofs off. Therefore, the dominant strategy of friend 1 is to goof off. Similarly, we can find the dominant strategy of friend 2. So let's find the dominant strategy of friend 2. So dominant strategy of friend 2. So let's see what friend 2, how friend 2 will respond to friend 1's action. So if friend 1 works hard, what will friend 2 do? Friend 2 will goof off. Why? Because 3 is more than 2. Payoff of 3 is more than 2. And if friend 1 goofs off, what will friend 2 do? She will still goof off because this 1 is more than 0. So what we can see is that friend 2 is also following the same strategy of goof off irrespective of what friend 1 is doing. When friend 1 works hard, then also friend 2 goofs off. When friend 1 goofs off, then also friend 2 goofs off. Therefore, the dominant strategy of friend 2 is also to goof off. So we have found the answer for the first part. Friend 1's dominant strategy is also to goof off. Friend 2's dominant strategy is also to goof off. Now let's find the Nash equilibrium. Let us find the Nash equilibrium now. So we see whether each of these are Nash equilibrium. So is work hard a Nash equilibrium? So recall the definition of Nash equilibrium. Every player's action should be the best response to other player's action. Now when friend 1 works hard, what does friend 2 do? Friend 2 goofs off. Friend 2 goofs off, right? When friend 1 works hard, friend 2 will goof off because 3 is more than 2. That means this is not the Nash equilibrium. Because when friend 1 works hard, friend 2 will not work hard. Friend 2 will goof off. Let us see, is work hard goof off a Nash equilibrium or not? So when friend 1 works hard, friend 2 goofs off. But when friend 2 goofs off, what will friend 1 do? Friend 1 will goof off. That means this is also not a Nash equilibrium. Because in the second case, friend 1 will have an initiative to deviate, incentive to deviate. When friend 2 goofs off, friend 1 will want to goof off because this 1 is more than 0. That means this is also not the Nash equilibrium. Now look at the third case. If friend 1 goofs off, what will friend 2 do? She will goof off because this 1 is more than 0. That means this is also not the Nash equilibrium. So the only Nash equilibrium of this game is goof off, goof off. Therefore, the only Nash equilibrium of this game is not 1, 1. The Nash equilibrium is goof off, goof off. Because we have got a dash below both the components. Once we get a dash below both the components, that means that's the Nash equilibrium profile. When friend 1 goofs off, friend 2 will also goof off. When friend 2 goofs off, friend 1 will also goof off. That means they don't have any incentive to deviate from here. So this is my Nash equilibrium. What do you observe? So look at the very important observation. If both the players have a dominant strategy, then that will also be the Nash equilibrium. Then that will also be the Nash equilibrium. If you all can see, goof off was the dominant strategy. If you all can observe that in this game, goof off, goof off was the dominant strategy, which is also the Nash equilibrium. So that means if in a game you have dominant strategy for both the players, then that will also be the Nash equilibrium. Because friend 1 will goof off irrespective of what friend 2 is doing. That is friend 1's dominant strategy. Friend 2 will goof off irrespective of what friend 1 is doing. That is friend 2's dominant strategy. That means goof off will also be the Nash equilibrium. Both of the friends will land up at goof off only. So this is where I stop. What we have learned today is the concept of Nash equilibrium. Okay. Then we have also applied the concept of best response function to Nash equilibrium. And then we have done an example where we have found the dominant strategy and the Nash equilibrium of the game. The game was working on a joint project. A project was given to both the friends. The actions were either to work hard on the project or relax, goof off. We have found that for both the friends, the dominant strategy is to goof off, because every friend will goof off irrespective of what the other friend is doing, and that is surprisingly also the Nash equilibrium. So this is where we stop in the lecture today. In the next lecture, we will do more practice questions on finding the dominant strategy and the Nash equilibrium. So I hope no student has any doubt. If you have doubts, feel free to call me, or you can mail me your doubts at divineschoolofelconomics@gmail.com.